Salutations everybody, it is Maddie here today with a Battlefront 2 news update. It appears that EA is trying to shift over to the light side ever so slightly after closing down Visceral Games, but don't worry, I haven't forgot. While this is great news, I believe it highlights a big issue with companies in our industry and how they try to abuse consumers, but first let's focus on the great news. EA made a post on the Battlefront 2 site saying how we've updated crates and progression, we've listened to your feedback. The post, which I will have linked in the description, reads as the following. We went into Battlefront 2 with a goal to make the deepest, biggest Star Wars game you've ever played. That means transporting you to all three eras and handing you a huge assortment of heroes, classes, and vehicles, as well as bringing tons of free post-content launched to all Battlefront 2 players. The beta gave us a welcome chance to test all of our systems in action and tune things up for better balance. A few weeks back, we mentioned that we were going to be taking another look at how progression systems work. After incorporating feedback from the beta, we're happy to share our plans for launch. Epic Star Cards, the highest tier of Star Cards available at launch, have been removed from crates. To help keep everyone on a level playing field, these Star Cards will primarily be available through crafting, with the exception of special Epic Star Cards available through pre-order, deluxe, and starter packs. So one issue I noticed with this right away is that they're not allowing you to buy it from the crates, but it doesn't change the fact that Star Cards in their own right are a broken system. It didn't work out very well in my opinion in Battlefront 1, especially for players coming in late, and this doesn't change anything with players coming in late in Battlefront 2 unless the matchmaking works out well, where if I'm a level 50, I'm with other level 50s, which often we don't see. Hopefully new players get matched up with other new players so that these epic Star Cards don't become an issue. Next, you'll need to reach a certain rank to craft upgraded Star Cards. You won't be able to buy a bunch of crates, grind everything up into crafting materials, and immediately use them to get a super powerful Star Card. You can only upgrade the ability to craft higher tier Star Cards by ranking up through playing the game. Now this is a very good change. It's saying you play the game, you get rewarded. Very simple and should have been an idea from the start. Weapons are locked behind specific milestones. While a select few will be found in crates, the rest can be attained by play. Want to unlock a new weapon for your heavy? Play as a heavy and you'll gain access to the class's new weapons. Once again, simple, this shouldn't have been in a crate in the first place, but I'm glad that now they have realized this makes more sense. Class specific gear and items can be unlocked by playing as them. As you progress through your favorite class, you'll hit milestones granting you class-specific crates. These will include a mix of Star Cards and crafting parts to benefit your class's development. I don't mean to repeat myself over and over, but I can't help but look at this whole update and say, guys, wasn't this obvious unless you were trying to change the game to make some money and got blatantly called out for it? The post concludes by saying this system, as well as all the others, will continually be iterated upon and improved. As we first announced at EA Play in June, we're committed to keeping the community together. All upcoming weapons, maps, heroes, and vehicles introduced in Battlefront 2's post-release content will be free so that players can play alongside friends as the world of Star Wars Battlefront 2 continues to grow. We know that the magic is in the balance, and we're going to make sure that we continue to make a game that is fun for everybody. Now that's great. I really like this update, so don't get me wrong on me trying to be negative over something that doesn't deserve to be so. This is good to see that they listened to feedback and they adjusted properly. While I still think there's an issue with Star Cards in general, that is a fundamental part of the game and that's not going to change through an update, especially one this close to launch. What worries me when I saw this post is, like I said, how obvious a lot of these design choices were and how they clearly avoided them. This is once again a shining example of how companies in the games industry try to get away with as much as they can until fans throw a big enough shitstorm in their face that they have to change. You have to wonder, when you look at this, would EA have taken a look at this and said, well, no one's complaining, so let's leave it? I know some may argue and say, well, Maddie, if there's no complaints, then why would they change it? But I think common morals, which obviously don't exist too much in business, would suggest, hey, why are we changing a fundamental game progression system for the sake of making money? A sad truth is, when you put something out there, no matter what, someone's going to buy it. Yes, someone out there has actually bought all the content for Creation Club. I think the same logic is going to apply to these loot crates. They're there. They are neutered to the point of almost being pointless, but someone out there is going to buy them. EA will justify having them in their games because it'll increase their bottom line a little bit. Like I said, this change is excellent, but you have to be wary, people, because now you're seeing what happens when companies try to get away with too much and they're called out, the changes that can happen. What this also leads to is outrage culture, where we see a lot of freakouts over little and big things, and then developers get confused because they don't know how to gauge the freakout level. Now back to Star Wars Battlefront 2 and this news piece right here. I am more excited for the game despite it being my most anticipated game, as this is a worry that was hanging over me entering the launch of it, and now at least that is gone. The only worry I have, which I've discussed in a previous video, is the campaign and how that is going to pan out. Time shall tell with that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know what you think about this piece of news, as well as how much companies try to get away with things in the games industry. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, those links are in the description down below, along with my Patreon. Do consider supporting that, as it fuels all the content we create here. Stay sexy, stay active, I love you all, peace.